What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of AOR Oceania for season number 5 on the Xbox One platform. We're here, as you can see on your screen, at Suzuka for round number 17 here for the Japanese Grand Prix. We're getting into the sort of the near end part of the season overall, but here's the championship standings. New Zealand run 169-point advantage. You can check out where your favourite drivers is. We're currently position 12. Ferrari obviously are Constructors champions as well, 269 points over Haas and Alfa Romeo, I think, as 6 from memory. But yeah, pretty much Drivers' Championship's done, Constructors' Championship is done. As you probably saw, if you were looking very clearly on the bottom of the screen, New Zealand Ryan is retired from the session, and basically they think for pretty much the rest of this season he's just going to pretty much do a sort of a last to first challenge, considering he's already wrapped up the championship. Just do something a little bit different, I think, for Ryan, which, I mean, I agree to that one sort of thing. I had no issue with that one because obviously champion-elect, he can pretty much do what he wants here. Nothing really much to fight for, really. Like I said, Drivers' and Constructors' Championships, since Ferrari are the Constructors' Champions as well. So that's obviously out of the way. But obviously there's still a few minor placings still up for grabs here, and also positions in the Constructors' Championship as well. But here we are at Suzuka. It's been a good-ish track for me in the past. I won't say it's been brilliant, but it's had some decent results for me in the past few seasons. But what you're seeing here is we're sticking the board here because this is actually my fastest lap of qualifying, and you'll see why a bit later on as we come through the hairpin at turn 11, one of the slowest parts of the corner. Just trying to avoid the wheel spin. I actually use third gear just to really just trying to avoid the wheel spin out of the corner, because you don't want to get on the power too early and lose the back end of the car. Now through spoon curve, nearly just ran it out a little bit too wide, nearly invalidated my lap time as well. Quickly up to fifth gear, just ran it a little bit wide off the exit of the spoon curve. Now pretty much this long straight here, lining up into 130R around here. It's flat attack through here. Just missed the apex a little bit there, but it's no issue whatsoever. Now to the final tricky chicane here in the Casio triangle. Just go over this bump here, which did ride the bump pretty well here. Come across the line. We go P5 with this lap time with a 128.947, which it wasn't too bad, but I definitely felt, like I said earlier, that I definitely felt like I had a bit more pace up my sleeve as well. But also, if you haven't checked out the previous episode, which was the Russian Grand Prix, or even the season overall, whether it's like my videos or the live streams on the Apex Online Racing channel or the YouTube channel, the link to the AOR YouTube channel will be down below. But go check it out, all my videos so far this season. I think there'll be a playlist link at the end of this video, like there always is. But yeah, just there at the moment, just sitting there in the pit lane. For the moment, Palms to the win is actually provisional pole position at the current moment. So, but anyway, we're about to make do our second run here. Through here as we're just trying to let a bit of traffic, just trying to stay out of the road there. New Zealand Venom actually just went to provisional pole for the time being, and yeah, just pretty much just getting out of everybody's road here as Conrad, I think he's just also completed a lap time as well. But also should point out as well, New Zealand Venom, I think from here on in is basically a full-time driver for now. He did get in touch with me saying he wanted to become a full-time driver, which of course had no issue whatsoever. But he'll be in the racing pod for the rest of the season, teaming up with Palms to the win. But this was my second run here. But coming through the Dunlop curb, I just took the exit curb probably a little bit too much there, and obviously lost the back end of the car quite easily. Went for a nice spin around there. Somehow I didn't get any wing damage, and thankfully there were no other cars around, considering it was pretty much near the end of the qualifying session anyway. But to come back into the pits, our teammate is actually just leaving the pits right on cue. So nice timing from Matt there, but we do make it back into the lane once Matt's crew get out of the way. But now all my crew have just got to hurry out and try and get the trolley back on the jacks pretty quickly here. And it was sort of a bit of a tight turnaround as well. I just pretty much had to change the tyres very, very quickly, considering there was only about 3 minutes left on the clock. But try not to muck around as best I can here, and just get onto another set of soft tyres and, go for a fly. Obviously, going down on the fuel a little bit. I did run lowish wings as well, but I think for this last run, I decided to up it to, I think, 5-7 wings. I think, remember, you would have seen on your screen anyway, but yeah, just started to see whether 5-7 wings would do any difference.
Our fastest lap is a 1:28.9.
Just to see whether there was any difference between the lap times.
Speed trap 285.9 kilometers per hour. Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we're just about to head out now for our final run here, but you saw then I actually got a bit of a warning saying that I may not get around for enough time to complete a lap here, but knowing me, I was going to give them my absolute all to the end, but yeah, unfortunately I miscalculated that a little bit there. As you can see, the timer here, so just coming through 130R, but literally the clock has just gone 0, and we have not be able to get around for another lap time. So yeah, that was a bit of a error on my judgment there, but anyway, this is a bit of a replay from spectator camera here, and this is actually thanks to New Zealand Ryan, who was obviously spectating for the rest of the session here. But you saw there, Death Bro, I think, got a little bit of a slipstream from Palms to the win. Death retired, and you'll see here, I think his retired car basically is AI-driven mode, and I think unfortunately for Palms, he slammed into the back of the Mercedes car, and you can see there off to the bottom of the screen there. I think you may have seen that Palms was just missing a little bit of front wing there, which is a real bugger. I think Palms want to maybe improve a bit later on. But in the end, we actually dropped back to only P7, which is, I mean, not too bad overall. But New Zealand Venom gets pole position. I don't think it could be his first pole. I'm not entirely sure. 127.820, just ahead of Death Bro, Laggy, Berserk, Palms, obviously, Brazuka, myself, my teammate, not far behind in 8th, Conrad, Kaiwas, and Ryan. But it's time to go race for the Japanese Grand Prix. Alrighty, guys, welcome to the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix. Sorry about the little bit of a rush there, but I didn't realise how much time I had for recording this bit before I actually had to leave it for the intro part. But anyway, you can see overcast skies here at Suzuka. Race strategy-wise, it's a fairly simple strategy here. It's pretty much a one-stop, starting on the soft tyres, go on to the medium compounded tyres. We've also changed the front wing back as well for this as well. Well, I'll explain that a little bit later on as we get set off for the formation lap. A nice bit of ghosting from Pops.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on a full start. We don't want to bog down.
Thank you, Jeff. But yeah, like I said, I did try and put the front wing up just to see whether it was going to get a bit more turn or not for obviously the qualifying run, but obviously I was going to revert it back to what I was originally going to run, which was the 4.7 wings for the race. So we'll see how this goes around here. Hopefully get some decent points. Here we go. We're all set for round number 17, the Japanese Grand Prix. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Suzuka, and it's a nice-ish start there. Not the greatest start. A little bit of lag as well, which doesn't help things, but not really on the right-hand side here, but just take it as deep as I can here, considering we're still fighting away. Brazuka's, but there's a little bit of contact there between myself and Brazuka, but he manages to just get ahead of me for the time being there, and we just slot back into we're pretty much our starting slot here, and already Ryan has got a great start behind. He's actually up to 8th position, obviously doing the complete opposite strategy, but here we go, trying to get a move done on Brazuka, going up through Dunlop curve here, but I'm on the wrong side here, the Deckner curve, so I had to sort of back out of it. We both run a little bit wide, but he runs a little bit wider, so we have a look at the second Deckner up the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of contact, and I think Brazuka's gone into the wall there.
Strong start, well done.
But yeah, that was pretty much a really awkward situation, that one there, but thankfully we got away with that one, but St. Cup is out for Brazuka. Here's a replay of what happened. So obviously just trying to get the run up through the Dunlop curve here, but obviously I was going to in the wrong position here to be for the passing spot. So get out of that one, try to do a bit of a crisscross here. Brazuka runs off into the gravel, so we make the move up the inside here. And yeah, I think I was fairly far enough past in there, but think we just had sort of an interlock with wheels with like his right front and my left rear. So yeah, sorry about that one to Bazooka. I don't think there wasn't any malice in there whatsoever, but anyway, we'll get on with that. But not a great start for Bazooka. I think you'll have to come into the pit lane there. But yeah, you can see now we're up in the 6th position here now, trying to chase after these two guys ahead of us here, and you can tell as well Ryan is not far behind either. So what I'm trying to do here at the moment here is just try and keep Ryan behind us for as long as I can. But eventually, if Ryan does go for a move, I'm not really going to hold him up here because I think I'm not really in his race here. So we just close up a little bit here on that racing point with Palms. We have a massive oversteer over that bump there, which was not ideal. We lost all that ground back to up to Palms, and obviously losing ground as well to Ryan, who thought I was going to have a look up the inside into turn 1, but obviously he decided to play it safe a little bit there and not go for the move there. So great job there from Ryan. But anyway, to lap 3 this time. Again, just trying to get a little bit closer now, and now we have the DRS. This time we're running the bump a little bit better now, but obviously now just trying to follow the slipstream there of both the guys in front there, because obviously Berserk's trying to break the slipstream of Palms, and for Berserk, he does not have the DRS, obviously, because the next car ahead of him, I think, is laggy. It's a little bit further up the road here, but yeah, at the current moment on lap 4 here, we've sort of purple middle, first sector, I should say, but yeah, overall pace didn't feel too bad early on the soft tyres, so I was feeling like a decent race result was going to happen here. As look at Palms trying to make a move up the inside here into the slower chicane here up on Berserk, but it didn't really work out. But now he's hounding all over it. Berserk nearly slams into the pit lane wall there. Somehow, how he didn't get it into the wall there, I do not know. But Ryan finally gets the nose up the inside, and like I said, not really going to fight him here, so just decided to just back out of that one and just let him go. And now basically you're just going to try and follow him here for as long as I can, so hopefully can catch up with the other two Palookas a little bit further up the road here. We run just a tiny bit wide there. We get our first track extension warning there. As it looks like those two are still going side by side into the hairpin here. As I think Berserk may have just got back ahead of Palms. I think Palms was ahead of Berserk for the moment, but now it's switched back around here. Now Ryan is now into this battle here as they're going zigzagging all over the place here. You don't know which way to look here at the moment, but nothing doing there at the moment, all just settling in there for a little bit as we run wide there, get our second track limits warning there, so not ideal. One more and we'll obviously get a 3-second time penalty, but I was enjoying this battle up ahead because I knew obviously the two, well, Berserk and Palms were definitely going to have an argument. Now Ryan's joined that battle as well, so this is going to be very interesting coming onto the front straight here. Again, Palms has a look up the inside, and maybe a little bit of contact there as we get our first time penalty of the race. But more importantly, watching this race, I think Palms has now got through Berserk, literally got through him, but now they're going to go 3 wide here. This is a sight you'll never see, I don't think, at Suzuka. 3 wide in the turn 1's never going to work here, and thankfully they've all made it through there. I think Berserk was probably the biggest loser out of all of that one, but I think he sort of backed out of it as well because he did not want to cause chaos. But Ryan's now split these two, and now we're right all over the back of this McLaren of Berserk. And now Ryan is obviously trying to get the drive out of here. Look at the drive. We get a little bit close there with the Berserk, but just didn't get the traction. The traction was a bit too much there, or I should say got on the power a little bit too early coming out of the hairpin there. So he goes right up the inside at Spoon, and yeah, pretty simple move there for Ryan. He's moved up into 4th position, I think. So Ryan's obviously on the move right about now, but now these two behind here is just obviously still trying to stick with these two because felt like I had the pace to match it with these two, especially throughout the whole race. But whether that's going to be the same or not when we get on the medium tyres, I don't know. But Palms, I think, had a little look at Ryan, but did not quite work out there. Now he's going to be under attack here from Berserk. I think the bonus of Palms is he'll have the DRS, so that might help him out here a little bit here. So just trying to get close up here on Berserk. Straight line speed doesn't look too bad compared to Berserk, although saying that, we're obviously all on had the DRS open there, apart from Ryan, I think. So anyway, lap 7 here, you can see Berserk again right on the rear end as we lose the rear end of our car and we lose all the momentum we had to those two in front. But now Palms is covering the inside here. Berserk doesn't know which way to go here. Going to have a look on the inside of the spoon curve. No, just settles out of it there and just settles back for the time being for now. But Pobbs goes sideways and around he goes.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
I don't think there was any contact there. We'll grab a replay in a second here, but had to obviously get a good run here on Berserk. Tried to have a think about it at 130R, but I thought better of it, considering there's not many to do passes around at 130R anyway. But now we're right all over the back here of Berserk. We're just trying to get a good run here. I don't believe he'll have the DRS. I could be wrong, but we'll just see if we can try. We can get close up a little bit here to Berserk. But yeah, again, we're not really quite close enough here and just have to settle back into what is now P6 and Berserk obviously up into P5. But see if we can sort of unravel what occurred here. So obviously here's Berserk trying to get the drive out of the corner. Nearly did actually, but probably just again went on the power just a tad fraction too early here. But you see goes to the right, then the left, then stays on the left-hand side. I thought about into spoon, but just have a look at what happens with Poms here, because I think he just touches the curve. Yes, he does. And, oh, geez, Berserk nearly lost his front wing there. We know Berserk's had a pretty tough season overall, but, again, he did need to get front wing damage there. Thankfully, he didn't, but that could have been very close there. But he just literally just got the curb just a tiny, tiny bit out of the exit of turn 14, and around he went. That's all it takes around here, because we all know, well and truly know by now that these curves could be deadly at some point.
They're on old softs. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 33.8. You're falling back by 1/10 a lap.
Yes, so Berserk, just checking time penalties. Berserk's pretty clean at the moment.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. 1 stop left. Your pit window opens in 2 laps' time.
Just getting an update also for Jeff, because I completely forgot what lap I was supposed to be coming in, but it said 2 laps time, so I think that's probably around the end of lap 10, I think. So we'll see if we can stay out here for the time being. Got a bit of a gap behind him, a teammate, and obviously as Ryan now sets the pace with the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyres, mind you. And now just trying to close in
is available on the MFD.
on Berserk here as Jeff throws a new strategy at me here, literally while I'm going through the corner. Nice work from Jeff, but obviously I think he wanted me to come in like 1 lap early, but I ignored it and decided to basically just keep going for the time being. But it's getting near to the pit stop here as there's a car goes straight ahead. I think that's Death, bro. He's out of the race. I do not know what actually happened to him there, but Berserk again had not a great run through the bump over.
Now, we're boxing this lap.
Oh, sorry, over the bump, I should say, which is quite deadly. Unless the game here anyway. Well, let's have a look at this replay here, because I was a bit surprised here whether Death Bro had actually what's the wording? Like got a bit of damage or something during the race, and then sort of wanted to sacrifice his race. But see, going through here, actually his wheel I think disconnects, and now I've had this issue obviously in the past here, but man, that's really unfortunate for Death Bro, especially with that, where he was just coming into the Casio Triangle. Had it gone through 130R, who knows what type of crash it would have been like anyway. But anyway, Berserk now comes into the pits at the end of lap 10. But we're going to continue on here for another lap here, as I think Laggy, who's the other one that come into the pit lane here. I think New Zealand Venom's already come into the pit lane, but the tyres actually didn't feel too bad on this lap here anyway. So like I said, I decided the tyres didn't feel too bad overall, so I decided to go 1 lap extra to see if I can have a little bit of fresh rubber up my sleeve for later on. Ryan again sets the fast lap of the race, so got pretty much speed to burn here as he's going to go onto the soft tyres a little bit later on, but we come into the pits right on cue, and at the end of lap 11. So we're going to chuck on the set of medium tyres, and hopefully, as Venom now sets the fast lap of the race, I think it's a 31.3. That's a nice job from the Alfa Romeo boys. So it'll be interesting to see where we pop out here, because wasn't sure whether we're going to be real close or not, or whether we lost a bit of gap to Berserk. We come out of the pit lane. There goes Berserk right on cue. So yeah, it's sort of like we've lost a little bit of gap there to Berserk, but like I said, 1 lap fresher tyres compared between me and Berserk. So that was probably going to be the key thing for this next team here, especially. But anyway, we'll continue on lap 12 as yellow flag. I think it's one of the Williams. I'm going to have a guess it was Kiowas coming through second underneath the second Degner just coming underneath the bridge part there, I think it is. So we run very wide coming out of the exit of Spoon Curve there, but thankfully got away with that one. But we get a warning there for illegal time gain, which is something I've never seen before, and then it gets sideways again coming onto the straight.
Gap to teammate ahead is 9.9 seconds. The gap behind us is 4.9 seconds.
So we've got a fair gap behind to Conrad, who I don't know whether he's actually pitted or not already, or whether he's going for a one-stop. I have no idea what I was doing there, just completely had a little bit of loss of concentration there, and obviously got on the grass. Thankfully, didn't do any like spins or anything, but that was pretty lucky.
They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:31.7. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
Okay, so that was probably down to bonus now, but Berserk's now got a 3-second time penalty. But you see here, lap 4, we're pretty much on to lap 14 now anyway, but yeah, at this point of the race, it was just a little bit confusing for some unknown reasons. We get another track limits warning there. But yeah, it's a little bit confusing, this second part of the race, because I think we're setting our personal best on this lap.
Pretty much burned off
If
our
I'm not
excess
mistaken,
fuel. We'll be back on target soon.
for the time being.
Don't wait
Anyway,
too long to turn the
you know,
engine
I sort of
down.
caught this out of the back of my eye as well, because New Zealand Venom, who's actually leading the race, actually left the session. I think he disconnected, which is a real bugger, especially considering how big of a gap he had, and it's going to be pretty much whittled away with his AI car, but thankfully he did rejoin back. But yeah, that was a pretty scary moment there as my teammates now into the pit lane. I think he tried holding up Masterbezerk as best he could, but in the end it wasn't to no avail there. But continuing now onto lap 18. Now this was a little bit of an interesting moment as well, because you saw the graphic there. Also a bit of a moment here with Laggy, because you can see he's got a red X to his name. Now, usually sometimes that means, usually the car's sort of like disconnected, or he's either disconnecting or something, which was a pretty weird moment, I've got to say. So we're going to make the move on his sort of red X car up into the Spoon Curve. Make sure there's no damage just in case he was actually still racing, but I had completely no idea. But we go up into 4th position here.
Nice work, that brings you up a place.
Thank you, Jeff. But shifting up into 7th gear straight away. But yeah, it was a weird one, that one. But I think it was just maybe a little bit of a glitch there, as we get a 5-second time penalty, I think, for exceeding track limits there. So I even had to ask my teammate, as he actually sets the fastest lap of the race for the 31.2. The nice job. We're looking good to maybe get an extra bonus boy. But I did have to ask my teammate during as well where Laggy was on his mini-map compared to mine. But I think he's got like the shorter version of the mini-map compared to me, so he can't see where everybody is on the track there. And I think behind Pomps of the Winds had a moment from what I saw.
Is 8.5 seconds.
As Ryan now sets fastest lap, because I think he's now pitted and it's a 29.5, so no surprise that he's got pace to burn here at the moment, and you know, he'll be down to be trying to battle close that gap to New Zealand Venom there. But yeah, gap just really ballooned out between myself and Berserk, so yeah, it was very weird here. I still don't understand why that's the case. I thought I would have had decent pace on the minis, but obviously just I don't really. So that anyway, we'll come on to lap 21 here, as I think yeah, there's a pink dot there. That's actually, I think, New Zealand Venom, and he's been off the road there. We'll have to see what's happened here. We'll jump aboard with New Zealand Ryan, who's actually was closing the gap here to New Zealand Venom here. So he's going to go, obviously, the long way around here into turn 1. Looks like the move's pretty much done here. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. He has to correct the steering a little bit, but how Ryan did not spin that car around is an absolute miracle there. I think possibly he was trying to maybe wait up as well for Venom as well. So I think he may have thought that might have been his fault. But we'll jump aboard here with what happened with Venom. So you see, obviously, he was covering the inside line here, going down towards turn 1. There goes Ryan around the long way around here. But I think he may have just out-braked himself a little bit there. Yeah, just a little bit there, and off the road he goes. But this time he actually goes for a half spin, you could say. But yeah, now Laggy's actually gone flying past there as well into what will be 2nd place here. It is a side-by-side comparison here with these two. Hopefully I've got this about right, because you can see where he's here. But just a tiny, tiny touch there. But Ryan did a very good job to correct the steering a little bit. there. And like I said, Venom obviously tried to save the spin there, but obviously didn't quite work out. And the other point I was going to make as well as we go past the blue flag car of Kiowas, I think it was. But yeah, Lagy's car did.
Is 12.4 seconds.
Yeah, Lagy's car did sort of reset itself as well, back up to his original spot, which is obviously, well, at the time was about third, but it's now second in the race. But potentially as well could be a first Ferrari 1-2 of the season, which haven't seen a lot of 1-2s so much this season. But they've taken to about 17 races, but might have the first 1-2 of the race. But just sticking aboard here for the final lap of the Grand Prix. I mean, nothing really much happened here, but decided to try and set my personal best. It probably wasn't going to be anywhere near the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but you can just see where we are on the mini-map and compare us to where my competitors are. Berserk's obviously well and truly ahead in Sector 2, or about the middle of Sector 2, and Pom's just about keeping ahead of is that Matt in position just behind there, coming through the two Dagners right on Hugh. But yeah, Matt was definitely putting a lot of pressure on Poms throughout the race, but unfortunately I think he ran too high a wings, because I think we sort of asked each other like afterwards or during the race like what type of wings we were running, because I was running like I said about 4.7 wings. I think he was running a bit higher, like 5 or 6 or something odd wings, I think, from memory. But like 6 on the front, 5 or 6 on the front wing. But yeah, wasn't really ideal for straights. But goes through cornering, was not too bad. But anyway, we are going to set our personal best lap time here across the line. It's a 31.559. We come across in P5. I think potentially that's our either best result of the season. I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyway, there's the podium. So it is a Ferrari 1-2 with New Zealand Ryan obviously taking the victory ahead of that Laggy person. So great job from the Ferrari boys, and literally confirming themselves why they are the Constructors Champions for Season 5 in AOR Oceania. And New Zealand Venom obviously rounding out the podium as well. But as we get a bit more rewards there, we'll take a look at the final results here. So it is Ryan that takes the victory ahead of Laggy in position 2. Obviously New Zealand Venom rounding out the podium there. Masterbezerk in P4. It's a decent result for Berserk, who's had a bit of an up and down season all round. Obviously ourselves in P5. Like I said, I don't know whether that's our best result of the season or not. I don't know. The head of Poms for the win. He did a nice recovery job, actually, to come back to 6th, so great job from Poms. 7th was my teammate, Conrad in P8, so nice points there for Williams. Brazuka did a pretty decent job as well to get back into the points in P9, and Kai was rounded out to 10 with 1 lap down, but did get the final point. And Death Bro also was the only DNF out of that race. So, yeah, sort of a little bit puzzling with pace, but hey-ho, it is what it is, really. But championship-wise, obviously, we know the Drivers' Championship's done and dusted. It's now 195 points between New Zealand Ryan and LSCM Allen, who I don't think will be taking part for the rest of the season on account of his wheel or pedals are not working for some unknown reason. He must have broken them or something. But yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up. Warden in P3 ahead of Laggy, Poms, Matt. Venom, obviously, now he's a full-time in P7 ahead of Berserk, Deth, and Top EB. But now jump up into P11, obviously, because Derek has still not been turning up. So obviously 2 points ahead of him. Then you got Brazuka in the 13th, Conrad in 14th. Kai was in 15th with some points, and then still yet to get on the board as I'll try it again. Icarus and Lockster are the two that are still yet to get on the board for the Season 5 overall. But Constructors-wise, there's still a few battles going on here. Ferrari, of course, are champions. Now 313 points clear of Haas, who are pretty much, I won't say that not quite a dead set given yet for second in the Constructors yet, but might come under a bit of attack ahead of McLaren, who's maintained P3, ahead of Toro Rosso. Mercedes obviously didn't move too much during that race because obviously Death DNF, so Racing Point are starting to move up the order as well. They've jumped into 6th spot ahead of us, Alfa Romeo in P7. You got Renault there still doing a decent job at P8, Red Bull and Williams running at your 10. Here's the overall results of the Oceania, well, overall, both Xbox platforms and PS4. Obviously, Ryan took victory in a 1-2 for Xbox F1. In Xbox F2, Penske took the victory ahead of Zombie and Owen, so it's a 1-3 there for Ferrari. So Ferrari must be doing some pretty decent jobs around in the other tiers. And Pete Crichton took an important victory ahead of F1 Amazing Hour, considering that championship battle is still going on. I think the F2 championship is still going on as well. So but the other result was 40, Plebs and Swaggy rounding out your top 5. But yeah, that's all the race that was the Japanese Grand Prix. I'll leave you now with the highlights, but if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania content on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, you can check out the links below to the AOR YouTube channel, the website, the Twitter. You can go check that out if you want to check out AOR overall. You can, all the links will be down there below. But yeah, until the next one, which will be the Mexican Grand Prix, because obviously USA and Mexico have swapped around for this season. But anyway, until Mexico, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.